What is good, YouTube man? Today I'm back with you guys with the nation for another live. We live, man. This is live. Shout out to everybody who's already here. Happy Friday to everybody, man. We didn't got through another week. I got one more day in my week, but we didn't basically all got through one more week. So shout out to you guys. And listen, man, days is getting closer. Not only is the season getting closer, but this training camp. Oh yeah, it's around the corner. Matter of fact, it's closer than just around the corner. Really quick, shout out to everybody who's already in the building. We got my dog Kenny, Raider Junkie, Gorell, Herman, ONT, Ben Bad. Shout out to the members of the channel, always showing love, pulling up, pulling through. If you do want to become a member of the channel, you get to vote on a whole lot of shit, choose the film studies and all that kind of stuff. Who else? We got the Autumn Wind, Linnell, Kyle, Rod, Ben Bad again, OG, Juan was popping. Yeah, and the link is right there in the chat. If you want to become, you do not have to become a member. My brother Paul was good, Blazing was good. But listen, you guys, we actually got some interesting stuff to talk about. My brother Herman, Eric was good. First things first, Edgar was popping. Wow, I did not think Richie Incognito would retire a Raider. I mean, you could list all the teams that he's played for. My bad for the hiccups, but I think he played for Miami, Buffalo, Raiders. He didn't play for half the NFL, to be honest, bro. So we'll see. Damn, Antoine was good. Rafael was popping. Jay, original Johnny. But yeah, so look. So first things first, shout out to Richie Incognito. He decided to sign a one-day contract with the Las Vegas Raiders today. And he said that he wants to make his mark in the silver and black historical. He doesn't just want to make it his few years that he was with the Raiders. He wants to put his name in them history books. So shout out to Richie choosing the nation. He was already very, very vocal when he got here that he immediately felt the love. He immediately loved this team, this organization, the fans, everything. So for the Las Vegas Raiders to allow him to have the chance to, retire a Raider, that's dope. We had Donald Penn a few months back. So shout out to Richie, the bully. He was definitely a bully, man, a baller on that offensive line. Shout out to him. Very, very happy that he got to do that, retire a Raider. Now, another thing that I want to touch up on, and shout out to everybody who's pulling up right now. We got a lot of new faces. If you haven't already, hit that sub. We got my brother Nick the Raider was popping. Baby Dawes was good. SVT, Kenny, Omar, Juan, Anthony. Oh yeah, we got all y'all in here. But like I was saying, the next up is actually very, very interesting because we know, I believe it was week 12 that sadly, week 12, we know Kenyon Drake, I believe, broke his ankle in that week. Well, we finally got some update. It looks like the rehab is going fantastic for number 23, Kenyon Drake. And it's been reported that he will be ready to go week 1. In fact, he may also get some preseason action. So I'm excited for that. We got some good preseason running backs. Kenyon Drake, Zeus, Britain Brown, Brandon Bolden, Amir Abdullah. So good news with Kenyon Drake. We know that he's a versatile back, out of the backfield, pass catcher, route runner. He could do a lot of things. So shout out to Kenyon Drake. Rehabbing going good. He will be ready to go. Now, speaking of rehabbing and hopefully ready to go, brings me to my next topic, and really why I wanted to make this live video, because I want to discuss this with you guys. Darius PHILON, the man, every single day is hinting or expressing at a hopeful return to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, a few days back, Darius PHILON did put up on his Instagram that it was time to knock off the dust off the cleats and it's go time. He's ready. So hopefully what that means is that the man, the myth, Darius PHILON, can get into the building, get a physical, and we can get paperwork going with him, because we don't know where the knee injury or the knee tweak is with Bilal Nichols right now. And honestly, unless one of these undrafted free agent defensive tackles that we got, like Myron from Notre Dame, unless one of these guys step up, I want us to have a little bit more depth at that defensive tackle spot. And shout out to Darius PHILON. He reposted me earlier today as well. But I mean it. When I'm saying that I feel like we need to do as much as possible to get this guy in the building for a physical, and get him signed, honestly. Now, I've seen a lot of things going around as well about possibly bringing in Ndamukong Suh. You know, we've had some updates. Here's my thing, and shout out to Sean because he sent it to me. Sean and everybody in the chat. When it comes to Ndamukong Suh, I think that if it happens, it needs to be done in the next 72 hours. And the reason why is because, or actually now in the next 48 hours. And the reason why is because it is Friday. We're at the end. We're at the end of Friday, right? This is now the weekend. So you have Saturday, Sunday. Sunday is the last day before camp starts. I know he's a veteran. He doesn't have to report until Wednesday, but he still needs to get in that playbook and he still needs to be ready to go by camp. So if we're saying that we still have a chance and a shot at Ndamukong Suh, it is a little bit slim, and it's getting slimmer and slimmer by the day, by the hour. We have a new defensive coordinator. We have new special teams coordinators. So we need all of our guys, when it comes to camp, we need to be able to hit the playbook running. We need to be able to get these guys going immediately. Now, I'm not too sure if holding off even longer on Ndamukong Suh, if you are targeting him, makes too much sense at this point, because we're getting closer and closer. In my opinion, you're better off going out at this point, giving Darius PHILON a chance, bringing him in the building, seeing if he could pass a physical. And if he can, you sign that man, because he's been extremely, extremely vocal on wanting to return. And I'm all for it. I'm all for Darius PHILON return. But in terms of Ndamukong Suh, if it happens, it needs to happen within the next 48, because we need to hit this. We need to hit this going. Like, we need to get this going, hit the ground running in camp. It needs to start fast. Like, we need to get the ins and outs, the X's and O's of this new defensive scheme, because it's more complex than last year's scheme. It demands more mentally than last year's scheme. It also demands just more in general. You need to be in more spots. You need to be a little bit more versatile. And I know that Suh is all of those things, but he needs to learn the scheme as well. So, if that needs to get done, we need to do it within the next 48 before guys start to report to camp, because it's Monday, guys. It's Monday. We get pads and stuff like that. I'm not sure if pads come on Monday, but I think they might. We're going at this point. Game is on August 4th. We are literally less than 3.5 weeks out from game day. Like, we need to get this going. So I'm extremely, extremely excited. But if we're gonna sign new guys, we need to bring them in soon. And we only have one more roster spot, and he's really the only player that we've been linked to. So we'll see what happens with that. Juan says UCLA all day. I work at UCLA. That's dope, my brother. What do you do it there? What do you do at UCLA? What's the job, if you don't mind me asking? Because that's cool, man. Shout out to Sean, Mel, AP, 93. Shout out to my guy Paul. For real though, no, we need to get it done. If it's gonna get done, it needs to happen. We don't need Suh. Interesting. That's interesting. I mean, that's a lot of confidence in what we have already. I don't blame you. I am really a big fan of Matthew Butler. I love his game. And I mean, I would love to see Matthew Butler get a lot of reps, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to see him get premature reps. I don't want to see him get reps that he's not ready for, which I think week 3, I don't think he'll be ready for that. I don't think that he'll be ready to face the Tennessee Titans in that powerhouse, that bully ball defense just yet. But if you have a veteran that can help ease into that, if you can have a veteran that can help ease into that, I think that'll help his production later on in the season. Matt B. Will Ball. I like Matthew Butler, man. I like Matthew Butler at all. Paul Gaines says, what you mean by that, Paul? What's up? But I like Matthew Butler. I was really happy when we drafted him. Tennessee guy. I mean, he put a lot of good stuff on tape this year. Like a lot of good stuff. But he is a little bit older. I do believe that was his 5th year. So he needs to kind of hit the ground running a little bit. So I wouldn't also be mad if he got a lot of reps. I think that we'll be solid in the preseason, and we'll get to know a lot more of our guys and our depth at that point. But we'll see. We'll see. Andy, just a thought, but what if there is a deal in place, but Sue and McDaniels and Ziegler are extremely quiet, waiting to drop their news? But like you said, must drop in the next 48. Sean, you know what? I'm 100% all for no leaks, no outside media attention going with the Raiders. I'm all for it, right? I am all for that, right? Because that's professional. That's really how good business is done, right? So I'd be all for that. But like you said, and like I was just saying, it needs to get confirmed within the next 48 because we start very, very soon. This Monday. It's no longer a week away. It's no longer 10 days away, a month away. We start this Monday. School is in session. Like, we need to get this done if it is going to happen very, very soon. Preferably before Monday, so he can have at least a day to go out and learn the playbook. Or I've seen a lot of people so far may not be as high on Alex Leatherwood going to the right tackle spot. Well, guess what? Daryl Williams is still an option, right? If you're looking to upgrade at the right tackle spot immediately, well, there you go. There's that chance to upgrade with Daryl Williams. You upgrade the trenches pretty handsomely with acquiring Daryl Williams. But at the same time, if you go out and get Daryl Williams, there is some questions. Why didn't he get a contract sooner? Because right tackles are not easy to come by. Why did the Bills cut him? All this kind of stuff, right? Because Daryl Williams is an upgrade to what we have currently, but that doesn't mean that Alex Leatherwood wouldn't project to be better. So we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to my guy Mark. He says, "Was good, Andy. Glad I made it. Had a long 10-hour shift. Raider Nation was up. Hope y'all having a good night. Raider Nation, Colorado chapter. Let's fucking go." Shout out to my guy Marcus. I'm glad that 10-hour shift is done, though, man. I was doing those all last week. Yeah, all last week, every single day. True. I mean, Adams and Chandler came out of nowhere. That's facts too, Johnny. Right? Like, we knew that there was multiple times with Devontae. I had no fucking clue about Chandler at all. I mean, if you think about it, we had no clue about Chandler. We had no clue about Yannick getting traded for Rock Ya-Sin. So this regime has been very tight knit, very, very, very close with not letting any leaks get out there in the media. And it was really just a surprise to everyone when the moves were made. So I wouldn't necessarily say that Ndamukong Suh would be a surprise, but I would definitely at this point, since everything has died down, be surprised if it gets done within the next 48 hours, which is, I think, the best timeline for it to be completed, because we need to hit this camp going. We need to get it going. And I want guys like Sue to be in the locker room as much as possible for these young guys as well. So we'll see. We need a quality center and a competent right tackle. Our offense definitely depends on it. We'll see. Kenny, I agree. I think that you could definitely upgrade at both of those positions. But at the same time, statements and reports have been released that Andre James is actually really impressed. Something to look at with Andre James. And it was confirmed by Colton Miller. Andre James has hit that 300-pound threshold. So he's gained good weight this offseason. He's bulked up. And in my opinion, I think that's something that he needed to do, because in the run game, you could tell he was lacking. So good thing by Andre James for gaining weight, bulking up. Right tackle, though, I believe that with this new regime, I want to give Leatherwood a shot back at the right tackle spot. Now, do I think that we can just go out and upgrade with getting Daryl Williams? Yeah, I think we can do that. But I also want to see the Las Vegas Raiders develop guys and not give up on them after one season. So I completely understand what you're getting at, Kenny, though. I agree. I agree. My guy Brandon says, "I think we are solid right now. Do we really need more pickups?" Well, it really depends, right? It's like, are we comfortable at the depth that we have? Because unless you're going out and getting Sue, really no other signings are going to impact your roster in terms of starters, right? I think that if you go out, you can maybe get some, I really think that you can go out and get a decent linebacker group going together with a little bit more depth. If you go out and get maybe Anthony Barr or Dante Hightower, those guys are Bryn starters at this point in their careers where they can give you some valuable reps. But I think that right now, right now at this point in time, we're really just going to go out and get depth, which is really what's needed, right? You want your guys to be able to either get a breather, or if somebody gets a stinger and goes down for a play, that you can go out there and not have a massive drop off. You never want to have a massive drop off. So I think right now getting good role players and all that kind of stuff is very important. Thankfully, right now with the contracts that the way that our general manager, assistant general manager, and head coach have structured them, we have a luxury of having over $20 million in cap space for us to be able to go out shopping and go out and look at this target and maybe get this guy and add some valuable depth. But I think that right now it won't really be roster altering anybody that we do bring in, but I definitely would like and entertain a Darius PHILON return, or of course Sue, a Linval Joseph, somebody that can really go out and help this roster, or just the depth, right? I would like to see that for sure. I highly doubt that a trade happens, right? Because I seen a couple people maybe bring up Nelson Aguilar from the New England Patriots. I don't think that goes down, but if it does, I'd be extremely happy. I'd be extremely happy. But I like Keelan Cole. I'll say that. Shout out to Carlos. Was good. SVT says, hit that like, nation. Andy Incognito is no small fry, and our O-line was looking massive standing next to him in today's picture. Let's see. Coaching will get our guys right. Look, like I said, man, I'm extremely happy for Richie, the bully, man. The bully decided to go with us and sign a one-day contract and retire with the nation. So happy to him. Once a Raider, always a Raider with Richie, man. It definitely applies to him. So we'll see. Let's see. My brother Loner says, man, I can't stand these leg riding, tap dancing Chiefs fans in the bandwagon Cowboy fans around. Bro, I don't know why you would be a bandwagon Cowboy fan. That just don't even make sense. That's going backwards. That's going backwards. But shout out to you, my brother. Facts, Raiders. What's up, homie? What I missed? Just tuning in. Well, we went over the fact. Shout out to you. We'll go over it again, Justin, and then we'll get back to what we were doing. So first and foremost, like I was just touching up on, we were just talking about Richie Incognito retiring a Raider. But we were also talking about the news that was coming out that was reported earlier today about running back Kenyon Drake. Looks like he'll be a full go for week 1 after the ankle break, I think in like week 13 or something like that. So looks like he's good to go. The rehab is working well over there for Kenyon Drake. So good to see that. Maybe they're also potentially seeing that he could actually make a return into the preseason and get some reps that way. I would be extremely happy if he can get some reps in the preseason to, get back into things, not against the greatest competition, but to really loosen up that foot again. So good to see that. We also mentioned that if we are to see anything happen with Ndamukong Suh or Darius PHILON, preferably needs to be within the next 48 hours because we start camp within the next 72 hours. So important weekend for us if we're going to add or we're going to let go of guys. So important times right now. It's cranking back up, and I'm extremely excited to last couple of days just been kind of putting content out there, but right now there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out for you guys, and I'm ready to report on all of it for you guys, give you guys my thoughts and opinions on everything we do. Foxdale says, where did Akeem Hicks go? He went to the Buccaneers, which kind of singled out Ndamukong Suh for him to go elsewhere. Was good. Resale was popping. Terrence, we got Digital Press in the building. Shout out to my guy Prez. Was good. Was popping, man. Let's see. Darius PHILON can definitely contribute to the roster. Hope he returns. I do too, Kyle, but right now it's all health, in my opinion. If he is healthy, if he can enter the building, pass a physical, there's no doubt that you go out and you put that pen to paper, you re-sign him. But right now, Kyle, and for everybody else in here, it is health. If Darius Philon can come in, pass that physical, do it. But if not, we may have to look elsewhere. But I really hope that he can come in, pass a physical, and leave with a contract and be back in the silver and black. I'm extremely happy for. I would be extremely happy for that. Foxdale says Philon, Sue, Gerald McCoy with Chandler and Crosby on the edges. That would be insane. That would be a lot of additions, right? We would have to cut at least another 2 more people for that to happen, because we only have one roster spot right now. We only have one roster spot. So adding Gerald McCoy, Sue, and Philon it'd be kind of tough. Do we know the update status of cornerback Trayvon Mullen? In terms of injury reports, I do not. But like I said, I believe Wednesday is when guys will report. So we'll for sure have I think injury reports will also start on that day as well. So we'll see who's ready to go, who's not, this, that, and the third. But as of right now, Sean, no word. It's been very, very quiet about Trayvon Mullen's recovery process. So we'll see. Jay says, man, bring that boy Philon back. He played hard for us. He did. He didn't. He turned up against the Bolts. I was all for that. I was all for that. Him is weird. Darius Philon and Cleveland Ferrell always turn up against the Bolts. Sue over Philon. Sue wouldn't have to learn a new system. He's more versatile too. Well, technically, Sue would still have to learn a new system. But I know what you mean. Veteran, he's didn't seen it all. Basically, it wouldn't be. It's not much of a change. It's more just vernaculars and language, right? You just switch that up, and he'll be good. But I think that Philon is versatile. He can play the 3 technique. He can play nose, or he is a nose, and I think that that's what Sue would also offer to us. I think that Sue could maybe offer an edge presence, but that would be very, very, very rare if that were to happen. Let's see. Sign Philon and roll the rest of the cap over to 2023. We'll see. So you think we're gonna sign somebody within the next 48 hours? Riso, I think that if we're looking to add, it needs to be within the next 48. It needs to be within the next 48, because check this out. Quarterbacks, undrafted free agents, and rookies all need to report Monday. Now, veterans, defensive backs, safeties, all that kind of stuff, the rest of the defense report Wednesday. So let's look at it, right? You got Philon, you got Linval Joseph, Sue. The reason why I say the next 48, Riso, is because then they have 2, maybe 3-ish days where they can get into the playbook, learn, and get ready to hit the ground running on Wednesday when they are due to report to camp. So if we're looking to add a quarterback, an undrafted free agent, it needs to happen now, but I highly doubt that would happen, right? So, Riso, in my opinion, if we're adding anybody to this roster, it needs to happen within the next 48 so that they can get comfortable with the system enough to the point where they can go out in camp, report, and hit the ground running, no mistakes. That's what I think. That's what I honestly think. My brother OG tripping. He says, sign Johnny Manziel. Isn't he in like an indoor league right now? Isn't he in like an indoor league? Sue or Philon? I would be good with either or. Me too, Terrence. Me too. We'll see. Do you think Waller gets an extension before camp? No, I don't think so. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that I've seen from Waller, man, it was kind of wild, the stuff that was being said about him during the season when he was hurt, this, that, and the third. People saying that he was probably doing it for contract concerns, this, that, and the third. He's really proven all of that wrong. And even myself, I think at one point I said that he's making sure that he doesn't ruin the contract chance. And, I stand by that statement. But he's really, really handled this extremely professionally, because he can go out there and demand the money that he, deserves, right? And kind of put bad media attention on there and all that kind of stuff onto the Raiders right now, but he's not. Like, you look at the Bengals, they're struggling with Jesse Bates. You look at the Chiefs, that's something I want to talk about. And they're struggling real bad with Orlando Brown Jr., who they just traded for. So, shout out to Waller for keeping his contract situation extremely low-key, professional. Do I think that he'll get his guy? Do I think that he'll get paid before camp? No, I don't think that he'll get paid before camp. Hopefully, he's one of the rarities where a guy gets extended during the season, right before they hit free agency and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully, that'll happen. But I don't think it gets done before camp. I don't think so. But like I was just saying, our divisional rivals, they may be losing their left tackle for the first few weeks of football, right? Like Orlando Brown Jr. It's been reported he has no reason to report to camp within these next few days. And the reason is money. He wants to reset the market at the left tackle position. So for one, thank goodness we got Colton Miller locked in already. Two, that helps us immensely. If this man does not report to camp and he doesn't play for the first month of football until they get something done, bro, that would help us so much because we play them in the first. I think we play them in the week 5. We play them. So, hey, if he don't want to show up, I'm not gonna say anything. Don't give that man his money. But look, the Chiefs, they had to let go of Tyreek, and they knew that they were gonna have to pay. What's his name? Chris Jones again. They knew they were gonna have to pay. They just traded for him, so they must have known that they were gonna have to pay for Orlando Brown Jr. And it's not looking like he's too happy being on that franchise tag. So we'll see how happens. I do believe that the deadline is over for him to get more money this year. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Yeah, Waller does not seem too bothered, Ben Bad. I agree. He's handling it extremely professionally. SVT, Andy, you have a chance to watch the Foster Moreau Busting with the Boys interview. He dropped some good gems in there. I did. And you know what, SVT? Thank you for bringing that up because one thing that he mentioned, right, was, and he literally said it's not a knock on John Gruden's offense, but he said that for him, the attention to detail on this new scheme it's something he's never seen before. He's never been so stressed over the little details in his life, right? And it completely matches up to what Waller was saying a few weeks ago when he was on the Pivot podcast or whatever it's called, or I Am Athlete podcast, where he said that he needs to be on his P's and Q's at all times in this new offense. So two things that I can take away from this is the fact that Foster, Waller, and our whole entire tight end room they're on it. They got to be on it. We know how big of a portion they play in this offense. Two, something that I was very, very interested to hear Foster Moreau say was he said that right now the meetings, it's no longer position groups with position groups. It's entire offense with entire offense, defense with entire defense. And he said that's not how it was. It was where receivers go with their coach, running backs go with their coach, tight ends go with their coach, quarterbacks goes with theirs. He goes, no, when we're watching film, when we're watching tape, everybody's getting the same lecture, everybody's hearing the same thing, and everybody is seeing everyone's mistakes. It's not receivers only seeing receiver mistakes, and it's not tight ends only seeing tight end mistakes. Everybody is seeing it. For me, that tells two things. They're holding each other accountable all across the board. Two, it makes sense because since it's a new regime, new head coach, it's probably going to help build the camaraderie a little bit more, having all your guys in a room together. So shout out to my brother SVT because, yes, I watched it, and I was very, very very pleased with how Foster spoke. He even spoke on his contract situation, right? Foster Moreau is a guy who's going to be due for a contract, I believe, after this season. And he said it. He said it pretty simply. He said, look, I'm going to get what I'm going to get. And he goes, and simply, I quote you guys, I quote. And I know for some of you guys, it may not be the biggest thing because for some of you guys, Foster is just a role player, whatever, right? But I quote, Foster Moreau said this: I will take less money in order to win championships. Simple as that. Now I know that for Foster Moreau saying that, um, I know that for Foster Moreau saying that, it's not like he's a guy that's going to get $15 million a year and say that, and now he's going to get 10, right? So it's not a massive drop off, but it's still good to hear that this is a guy that we have in the locker room that is willing to sacrifice a little bit more in order to get the long term goal. And what is that? Getting that fourth Super Bowl ring. And I love to hear that, man. I love to hear that we have selfless guys. We have guys that want the better of our team and not just go out and get their own. Now, in my opinion, I don't know if I would do that because that's his first contract, right? That's his first contract after his rookie deal. So, I mean, shout out to Foster for saying that. But now the problem with saying that on air for the public to hear is that if you don't stand on your word, man, you're going to get criticized heavily. So shout out to that. And yes, if you guys did not get the chance, go and watch that Bussin' with the Boys podcast with Foster Moreau. He definitely dropped some gems there. Shout out to my brother Wasted in the building, my guy. Much love. Please, same thing. If y'all haven't go checked out my guy Wasted, go check him out. The YouTube page is right there. It's right there for you guys to see. Go check them out. As long as with my other brothers as well, man. Hammer, Graf, all them boys, man. Go check them out. Go show some love. Thank you, McDaniels. Thank you, Waller, Renfro, Devontae Facts. All them boys. For real. Let's give DC some credit for setting the tone when he got extended. Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, wasn't just DC. With Renfro, Foster Moreau said that he felt like Renfro could have got 20. Foster said that he felt that Renfro could have got 20 a year. How do you guys feel about that? For me, I think that's a hell no. There was no way that Hunter was getting $20 million a year. There was no way. But he literally said that he felt that Hunter could have asked for 20 and he felt like they would have gave it to him. I'm not giving Hunter no goddamn $20 million. Sorry. Well, I'm not giving him the money physically myself, but still, no. But he felt that Hunter Renfro took less on his contract. He felt that Derek Carr took less on his contract. He felt that Devontae took less. Chandler took less. So I'm loving what we're getting out here right now. He also mentioned the 3 guys that he's closest with in the locker room. He said it's Amik Robertson, Deron Harmon, and I forget. There was one other guy. But Amik and Deron Harmon are the 2 guys that he's closest with as of right now on this team in the locker room. So that's dope. 2 defensive guys, 2 DBs, by the way. 2 DBs to be the closest with. That's kind of interesting. Renfro could get $20 million that the Pats might pay for him. Andy had a PHILON, Hightower, Sue, and McCoy. Who do you want more right now? You know what? I'd probably still go with Sue. I'd go with Sue still, just because health is not a concern at that point. It's plug and play. Now, PHILON it's really tough because PHILON is also plug and play if the health is there, right? But there is reason to have some concern with PHILON because as a defensive lineman, as an offensive lineman, all of your game is lower body, all of it. Your explosiveness, your power, all of that comes from your lower body. And for him to have a torn quad or whatever the fuck it was, it sucks, right? So I hope that PHILON can get to full health, and if he is at full health, sign him. But as of right now, if you're to ask me which one I would want more, I would say Sue. But the thing is that you can get PHILON and Sue. Like the money, you can work that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. The Jags would give anybody 20 mil. The Jags are fucking stupid. Bro, we have Devontae freaking Adams, 15 TDs, 1,300 yards. Probably more, Bruno. Probably more. And you know what? I'm gonna say this because who was it? Young receiver, Justin Jefferson, today, today said that he feels like right now the best receiver in the league is Davante Adams, but after this year, it'll be him. Now, let me tell you something. Davante Adams is going to be the best receiver this year. He's going to be the best receiver next year, the year after that, and the year after that. You know why? Because he's going to be wearing the silver and black. Simple as that. Let's see. What's your take on Richie retiring a Raider? I'm all for it. I love it when guys, it's not like Richie got drafted here. It's not like Richie was his second team, his third team, or his fourth team. Like the Raiders were down there on his list, right? And to see him choose the nation, to see him choose the silver and black. And you got to remember, the man was with us in Oakland, right? So he was with us with the real, not saying that the Vegas fans isn't real fans, but he was there with the shits, man. And I'm happy for him to retire a Raider. I'm happy the fact that he gets to put his name in that group. Like I said earlier, we got Donald Penn a few months back. So we'll see. Glad to have him. I have no like negative opinions on that. I like it. I like it, Tito. Sue hates us. He'll never be a Raider for real. Yeah, we'll see. I think he was joking about being close to those guys. He said him and Crosby were close though. Yeah. Oh, I think Crosby was the other one. Yeah, he said him and. The question was in the locker room. Just another DJ. The question was in the locker room. Yeah. Andy, did you see that video I sent your DM earlier? We the new dynasty, and he explained why. I didn't. I just got off work. Came here, fired up the live. I didn't get to see it. No. Shots my brother Kenny says, reality check. Our true needs are a quality right tackle, a quality center, and a true number one corner. I don't disagree. Jesse Bates holding out on Cincy. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, let me ask you guys this, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible. I think that Jesse Bates, in my opinion, when he's fully healthy, ready to go, he's the best free safety in football, because I feel like what he's done with Cincinnati, with all the bullshit and trash ass players they had, I thought that the level he was playing at was above others, right? But let me ask you guys this. What are you trading for Jesse Bates? Like, it sucks, but Jesse Bates is a safety at the end of the day. Like, I said this with Graf, Wasted, I think even Hammer was on live. I wouldn't have traded up to go get Kyle Hamilton. And the reason why is because he's a safety. He doesn't truly impact the game at the same level as somebody in the front seven or your outside corner. He doesn't impact the game as an offensive lineman. He doesn't impact the game as a receiver. He's the running back of the defense, right? So, in my opinion, I wouldn't trade a first-round pick for Jesse Bates simply because of the position he plays. The player, Jesse Bates is a damn good player. Damn good player. I love Jesse Bates in his game. I wouldn't trade a first-round pick for Jesse Bates. That's just me. Now, I've seen some people predict a first-round pick. I'm not doing that. I am not trading a first-round pick for a safety. Think about it. We got Davante Adams for a first and a second. Jesse Bates is not just a second-round difference off of Davante Adams' production. He's not. So, like for me, I'd give him a third. If they would take that, I'd give him a third. But in terms of the whole Jesse Bates trade scenario, I think it's a little bit far-fetched. Would I love it? I would absolutely love it. He's a phenomenal safety in this league. I think he's the number one in his position at the free safety spot. I truly believe that. I truly do. But I'm not trading a first-round pick. I'm not trading a second-round pick for a safety. I'm not. Simple as that. You saw how bad that turned out for the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks, they got finessed. They got super finessed. Super duper finessed. So, yeah, I'm not doing that. Your
commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You will not get
Shout out to my brother Graf, man. You know you did not have to do that, my brother. But he decided to become a member. And listen, you guys, if you also want to become a member, you can. The link is there in the chat for you guys. If you would like to. If not, I mean, I'm fine with it. You get some perks, some emojis. You get to vote on the new film studies that we do every weekend. So there's some perks if you want to become. If not, don't worry about it. It is what it is. But yeah, shout out to my brother Graf. Appreciate you, my brother. And I we needed we needed the little man to get off and Moss, the Ravens defensive back, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. we'll we'll see it sooner or later. One day he'll be out there torching Ravens DBs. One day, for real. Shout out to Matt. He says Deron Harmon is fine as strong safety. Deron Harmon, I like Deron Harmon. I think that's a sneaky pickup that we had this offseason. Um, I think it is a very, very sneaky pickup. Now he's not the long term answer. He's not. But what I will say is that he's extremely, extremely, extremely good in coverage. Like, it's going to be really hard to get a deep ball over him. He knows what he's doing. He knows the ins and O's, the X's and O's. Let me put it like this. If I were to say the next Casey Hayward for this regime, it would be Deron Harmon. A guy that knows the ins and outs of the scheme, a guy that's seen damn near everything there is to see at their respective position. Deron Harmon is going to do good for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I like that pairing for Trayvon Merritt. You have a veteran, a seasoned veteran next to him that he can rely on, that he can pick his brain in practice, this, then, the third. It's a phenomenal thing to have with Deron Harmon. I think that he will do a good job with Merrick back there for sure. For sure. Let's see. Yo, homie, what's the word on the streets with the Aguilar situation? I don't think that Nelson Aguilar will get traded, and if he does, I don't know if the Patriots would trade him to us. I'm gonna be honest. I think the whole AFC is going to stop trading within the AFC because our teams are just too stacked. They're just too stacked. They are. The teams are just too stacked, man. Andy, would you trade a number one for Ed Reed? Um, that's different. That's different. That's a Hall of Famer. That's the first ballot Hall of Famer. But still, like where this team is right now, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But probably if I knew the player's career before it happened, yeah, I think you would trade a first round pick for anybody. But I'm talking about a guy that we don't know his career. Like at the time when I was talking about what's his name out of Notre Dame, Kyle Hamilton. We don't know his career, so I wouldn't have traded up for him. Jesse Bates, he's a safety, but if you have to compare Jesse Bates to Ed Reed, there's there's a massive difference there, right? But yeah, I'm not trading a first round pick for Jesse Bates. I'm not trading a second round pick for Jesse Bates. Simple as that. We need another safety bad. I like the depth that we have at safety. Um, I just don't think that we have an understudy at safety that is ready to take over when Deron Harmon leaves. The only person that I think could be an understudy would be Tyra Gillespie because Tyra Gillespie is versatile. He can come down in the box, play the hybrid linebacker spot. He can go into the slot, play that. He can go over the top, play cover two with a split high safety. He can do all that shit. He can do all that shit, right? But he has to get that chance now. So we'll see what happens. Tyra Gillespie, I think, is the only person that could maybe be that understudy to Deron Harmon to take over after next year. But I like what we have at the safety spot. We got Roderick Teamer, Deron Harmon. I think we're solid in terms of rotation. Was good. Red Nation was good. Loco was popping. We already got our Nelly. His name is Keelan Cole. I like that. Born free. I like that. And he's younger. Browns holdout on the Chiefs spells nothing but good news for the Raider fans. I 100% agree, and that's what we were just talking about. Let's see, Eddie, what are your thoughts on the contingency plan on Leatherwood if he does not pan out. You know what? I think it's really not that bad because if you think about it, right? He was developing fine at the end of the year as a right guard, right? Worst comes to worst, you miss on a first round pick right tackle, but you end up getting a damn decent right interior. You get a pretty good interior offensive lineman. Obviously, you wouldn't want to get a good interior offensive lineman in the first round. You would want a great one. You would want somebody on the level of Quentin Nelson, or what's his name? Uh, what's the fucking white boy from the Colts? Is it Quentin Nelson? Yeah, Quentin Nelson. You would want somebody on that level, right? If you're going to spend a first round pick on an interior offensive lineman, you would want them to be on that level. But in my opinion, I don't really think that it's that bad, right? Like you go out, I honestly think that it's going to work out for him at the right tackle spot under this new regime. But worst comes to worst, you have your right guard of the future. Like it is what it is. You have your right guard of the future, and then you're still on the search for a right tackle, which sucks. But it's better than not having a right guard or not having a right tackle. So we'll see. We'll see. Keelan Cole will play the Z. He will play that. Yes, that's what I think. AJ says, let's see. Preseason should show us what we have at safety. I agree. Wasted. Who would you bring in the money we got to snatch before training camp in a few days? Hey, Wasted. I read it, so you better answer it now if you're still in here. Keelan Cole and Demarcus Robinson are slept on. I think Keelan Cole is more slept on than Demarcus Robinson, for sure. Sean says, you think Coons, Frack Rail, Clee, Matthew Butler, Thick Frame Neal get preseason playing time? 100%. 100%, Sean. Brandon Scherf, no, Scherf don't play for the Colts. Let's see. Keelan Cole had more dog in him when he played with Jacksonville. He was only 1 year with the Jets. He was only with 1 year with the Jets. Like I don't know if we could really make that true comparison, but I mean I also didn't watch many fucking Jacksonville and Jets games, so I wouldn't really be able to say too much on that. That's what I'm thinking. WT. Fuck's in my pocket. But yeah, we'll see. I think they get tons of playing time, Sean. Cole has multiple 100-yard games with touchdowns. Cole he's the definition of a number 2 receiver. And in this case, we got pretty lucky because he's not our number 2 receiver. So you got Adams, you got Renfro, you got Waller, all guys that are going to get the ball before him. So he's your 4th option. Really, maybe like your 5th because of our running game. I don't know about Charles, but glad Incognito is gone. I mean, he's been gone. We didn't have him since last year, and he retired a Raider. I'm glad that he retired a Raider. Yo, homie, who's your favorite player on the roster? Ooh. Probably Hunter. Comes in, does his job, high level, no ego. What's not to like with Hunter? Probably Hunter would be my favorite guy on the roster right now. Probably Hunter. Close second is Max. Same thing. He just comes in, grinds it out. But probably Hunter. Reliable. Derek Carr set up for an MVP season. I pray he don't fumble that bitch this season. I mean, you can't really say he fumbled it last time. The motherfucker broke his leg. Cole always shows up in games, even with bad quarterbacks, with horrible quarterbacks. Fucking best quarterback he's had, I think, was Blake Bortles. Like, damn. Hit that like, share, and sub. Facts, Herman. Appreciate you, my brother. What the fuck? Oh, bro, I thought this motherfucker was kissing a porcupine in his picture, bro. Shout out to my guy, Herman. Adams and Hobbs. Hobbs is a good one. Adams, I feel like is a little cliche. He hasn't even played a game with us, but yeah, of course, I love Adams. Andy, top 5 QBs with the most passing yards in the past 5 seasons. Derek Carr third with 20,506. That's 4,100 a year, so he can get that 5,000 plus. Yeah, I think he'll get 5,000 yards this year. I think so. Watching Killing Cole on film, you would have to be a fool to sleep on him. Very talented. And you know what? I was actually very happy when the Raiders got him because, when the Raiders got him, I felt like his story gives hope to the undrafted free agents. Like, he is a guy that went undrafted, went to fucking Jacksonville, but continuously carved out a role and excelled. We're talking about 700 yards, 600 yards, 9 touchdowns in a year, 8 touchdowns in a year. So you look at him, and he is truly a testament to if you work hard, you will get, what you deserve. So shout out to Keelan Cole. Hopefully he could kind of motivate our undrafted free agents from this class and last year's class. Like, hey, I did it, so can you. Let's put this work in together. Let's go win a Super Bowl, man. I don't even think he's ever been in the playoffs, or I think he was in the playoffs once. Exactly, not in the books anymore. He was supposed to be helping, but not being in there made Derek go under distress most of the year. I think that the least of Derek's worries last year was Richie Incognito. Like, I think that was the least of Derek's stress. We had way more shit going on than fucking Richie Incognito not playing. But I understand what you mean, though. Waller and Perryman. I know that Perryman is fucking Hammer's favorite. God damn, these hiccups. For me, favorite player is Max. I played the same position my high school and college career. AJ, you played college? Where you play college at, AJ? Crosby is definitely my second, followed by Waller. Interesting. Okay, that's a good question. What's your guys' top player on this team right now? Favorite player? And don't say Devontae Adams, please. Please. Because that would be everybody's favorite player on this team. Mine is Hunter. Iron sharpens iron. Our secondary will be battle tested by the time the season comes around after facing Adams, Waller, Renfro, Cole, Robinson, Zeus, Drake, Jacobs in practice. Facts, Courtney. Oh my God. That is a fact. Like, think about that, right? Think about that. They're going to go play the Chiefs and, like, Chiefs? Fucking Valdez Scantling? Fucking Juju? Think I'm supposed to be scared of that? I've been practicing against fucking Waller and I'm practicing against Waller, Devontae, and Renfro my whole fucking time in the NFL. You think I'm be scared of the Chiefs? You gonna look at fucking Jerry Jeudy and be like, Jerry Jeudy? The fuck? You gonna look at Cortland Sutton like, get your bum ass up on, like, come on, like, what are we doing here? You feel me? I agree, Courtney. I 100% agree. Bold prediction: we have a top 5 offense and defense. Antoine, I will match your top 5 offense. I will not match your top 5 defense. I think that we're going to have the number 1 scoring offense in the league this year simply because of how many mismatches we have on offense. You cannot guard this offense how you would guard any other team in the NFL. I will match that, and I will emphasize we will have the number 1 scoring offense this year, in my honest opinion. Now, defense, I think we're going to rank anywhere from 14 to 16 in the league. That's what I think. But I do think that we're going to have a top 10 red zone defense the same way that Patrick Graham had a top 10 red zone defense last year. Jacobs and Waller, Hunter and Hobbs, Mad Max, Max 1, Hunter 2. Okay, interesting votes. On another topic, Jacobs is rocking 28 or number 8. The number 8, he confirmed that the number 8 got denied by the NFL. So he is going to wear number 28, Justin. He said that the NFL denied it. They said that apparently he didn't give a year notice, and he claimed that he did, but they still denied it. So he will be wearing number 28 again this year. Chandler Jones, okay. Newbie. Starting linebackers. Young? Who is Kenny Young? He's not starting. Perryman, Brown, or Divide. Okay, whoa. Your starting linebackers in the 3-4 will be Jayon Brown, Perryman, and Diablo. Your starting linebackers in the nickel should be Diablo and Jayon Brown. But I think with how much with how much the nickel gets played nowadays, I do think that when we're in the nickel on first and second down, Perryman will be on the field. But I don't think that Kenny Young is starting. I think that Kenny Young is phenomenal depth at the linebacker spot. But in my opinion, it's going to be really hard, or something really bad is going to happen in order for him to start at the linebacker spot. Was good. CT was popping. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I usually would say you didn't miss much. You didn't miss damn near an hour. You didn't miss damn near an hour. But just to recap, man, we talked about Kenyon, being back. Kenyon will be back, ready to go for week 1, possibly some preseason games. I gave my thoughts and opinions. I'm happy that Richie Incognito retired a Raider. And in terms of Sue or PHILON making a return, I think that if it happens, it needs to happen within the next 48, because we got camp starting Monday. And then from there, we just been talking different opinions. But a quick recap, CT. I think our secondary will be elite by week 5. Yasin, Hobbs, and Merrick are going to eat because of Chandler, Max, and Sue Hightower, Foxdale. You think that Sue, PHILON, Hightower, and McCoy are going to sign? Where the fuck we going to get these roster spots from? But hey, if that happens, let's run it. I believe Amir Abdullah is number 8. I like that. Amir Abdullah, let me tell you this. I am going to say that I think Amir Abdullah will make this roster. I know that there's a couple people that think he won't. I think he will. Favorite player, Wall Street. Okay, Jerry, that's solid. I would love to get Hightower for a year to help us set the tone for the linebackers and the defense. He holds guys accountable and helps them get in the right spots to be effective. I agree, but I also think that Denzel Perryman can take on that role this year. You think so? Do you think that, Courtney, or you just want Hightower? Is Denzel good 100%? He's close. He's close. I believe last month they reported that he was very, very close to being full health, but they didn't rush him back into mini camp. So I think that by the time we start Tuesday, I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good to go. Merrick will have 6 INTs this year. Antoine, I sure as hell hope so. Amber won't make it? Who the fuck is Amber? Oh, I think you meant to say Amir. Oh, not all of them, just one? Okay, I can see that. Word. Most interactive Raider YouTuber I know. Appreciate you and your knowledge. Man, I think there's some interactive motherfuckers out there, CT. But appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Sup, get Sue. Jay Miller, I hope we get Sue. For real. So if Kenyon doesn't ball out, what's going to be his excuse next? There ain't going to be no excuses for Kenyon. He's going to have no room for excuses. We have an incredibly deep running back room, so he has no excuses. It's ball or bounce. I like that. Oh, shit, we should make that shit a series. Ball or bounce. You either get your shit together or you get it packing. I like that. Shout out to Critique. You low-key inspired. Hold on, I need to write that down. Ball or bounce. Ooh. Hey, we need to make that shit a series. Hey, you know what? First one on ball or bounce. Ball or bounce. Jonathan Abram. You gotta ball out or you gotta bounce. Simple as that. You gotta up the game. You gotta produce. You gotta produce. Ball or bounce. Kind of like put up or shut up. You feel me? But I like ball or bounce. Hell yeah. Jacobs. Ball or bounce on Jacobs. Interesting. I like that. Chingonka. I think you meant to say Caron, but yeah, we appreciate everything you do, bring to this table. Appreciate you, man. Denzel's a great player, but Hightower knows this defense on a Super Bowl level. I love that. Insight right there, Corny. That's facts. He sure does. He didn't. Hey, on multiple Super Bowl levels. You're balling or you're bouncing. Facts. I need to update that. You're balling or you're bouncing. Facts. Oh, Anthony, don't do Abram like that, man. Don't do Abram like that, dog. Don't do it. That's my guy. I fuck with Abram heavy, bro. But I know you guys kind of feel that way. So yeah, we'll see. But damn, it's already been an hour, you guys. I am going to head out. I'm going to spend time with my family. We got some family in, and they drove over here. So you got to respect it. Can't be in your room all day when you got fucking family over. Gotta spend some time with them. But listen, you guys are my family as well. So that's why I decided to pull up on you guys for an hour, have some fun, discuss the things that's going on in the nation. But listen, we are very, very close. Very, very close. Monday, it all begins. So get excited because news and all that kind of stuff, you will hear it here. You may not hear it first because I do work every day, but you will hear it. And we will talk about it usually around 7 o'clock West Coast. So, yes, if you are new to the channel, please hit that sub button. We are closing in on 6,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you guys enough, man. Honestly, I love you guys, man. I appreciate all the support. Hitting 1 million views a while back. Like, thank you guys very, very much. But as usual, you guys, I love you. Stay safe. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed weekend. I know it's the weekend. And yeah, you guys, I am out. Peace.
Welcome to the Death Star, where our opponent's dream